thank you for having me here today. Can everyone hear that? Fine. I'm relatively new to Townsville, so when I was asked to do this, I was wondering the relevance of my role here today. But I must say this has been a very interesting morning, and I find the presentation that you guys have delivered to be very sort of inspiring in many ways and given me a lot of food for thought. So what it does encourage me with this is the similarities to which Townsville region faces in its creative development to that of Rockhampton, where I'm from. So for those who don't know, I'm the manager of gallery services at Townsville City Council, which administers Press Tucker Regional Gallery and the Pinnacles Gallery, but it also has the mandate towards developing the visual art strategy for the region through council. That's not a small undertaking and involves a lot of collaborative efforts from people, but in so doing we are developing strategies, and I'm going to talk today a little bit, in 5 minutes if I can, about the roles or the challenges that we're undertaking through the visual arts, through gallery services. We've broken down the areas of influence recently that we find of interest to try and innovate what gallery services is doing and try to progress what we consider to be a public gallery in the 21st century or in a contemporary society, particularly given the changes in the arts sector, both in funding at a state level and what is the current role of the public gallery. So this is sort of the area that we're focusing on. We've identified what we consider to be 5 pillars that inform innovation and progression through the galleries, and these are simply broken down to accessibility, activation, advocacy, education and governance. So to give a quick overview of how we're looking at that, we want to make sure that our public galleries provide access to unique and content and opportunities, inclusiveness and access for local artists, arts workers and the general community, and accessible and relevant content programming that engages the diverse socio-cultural groups within the region. We don't want our public galleries to be elite, and we don't want them to be exclusive of people, so we want to target the different demographics and interests. We also are looking at the areas of activation within gallery services. So this includes activation of existing facilities and also moribund facilities and sites within the area, particularly to promote innovation, development, cultural activity, tourism, cohesiveness, sustainability. These are very broad overarching themes, and in 5 minutes I can't really talk in detail about how we're targeting those, but just be mindful of the fact that we're trying to transition what a traditional role of a public gallery is, or what we call the traditional gallery environment, which is all the activity happening within the gallery walls. We feel that a gallery this day and age has to undertake activity outside of its traditional confines. We need to partner with philanthropic and corporate and private sectors to be able to deliver the services that we wish to do, to provide that support through education, also to be able to provide opportunities for local artists and arts workers and the various areas of activity that we undertake. So this sort of leads me towards going towards that activation of non-governmental partnerships. We want to create sustainable cultural economic generation through the region. How can we play a part in that? I mean, it's not something that the public gallery sector, although a large sector nationally, within the community, it's only one component. With all the groups that are here today, with the tertiary sector and that sort of thing, so we're looking at how we can engage. I guess the biggest thing for us is looking at the advocacy. This includes advocacy for the public gallery sector by the parent or the funding governmental organisation, in this instance Townsville City Council, in the development and delivery of strategic and innovative cultural development through the galleries itself, and then that filters down, as far as we're concerned, to how gallery services then provides advocacy and support for the local arts community, arts organisations, arts workers, artists, tertiary bodies, and particularly to audiences locally, regionally, nationally and internationally. A key focus for us, particularly now, is about education. This is both education at grassroots level for primary school, homeschooling, secondary schools, but also working in opportunities like today with tertiary bodies that undertake more development and partnerships and initiative development. So all of this comes back to the final sort of theme for us, and that's governance. We need to undertake a very innovative, progressive, very considered way of how a gallery reacts, instead of being just reactive, but is proactive in what it does across all areas of influence, from collections management, exhibitions to public art and those sort of areas. So we're working very hard at the moment to do that. So